Hello, happy President's Day weekend, my pretties. I have a full program today. Welcome to the Tater Cowgirl cooking rodeo. Little Tater Cowgirl is with her papa at the machine shop. I think that girl turns out to be a machinist. I don't know. Anyway, I cook for you by myself, but hey, I have a full program for you. So you know, we did President Washington's and President Lincoln's favorite cakes last time. This was the apple and the cherry cake. Now this time I have a full menu for you. I found the favorite recipes of 5 presidents. I mean, this is I'm trying to pull this off today, so my kitchen looks like crap because everywhere is stuff, but let's hope it works. How I got the idea? My husband, my dear, surprised me on Valentine. He got a White House tour for us from Jimmy Panetta, our congressman. You know, you have to request a White House tour. So in summer we will go to Washington. We have booked the flight, we have booked the Watergate Hotel, and we will see the White House. I'm so excited. I wanted to do that ever since I immigrated in 2001. I wanted to see the 3 branches of government: Supreme Court, White House, and the Capitol. So, and the Watergate Hotel was cool too. So this is where I got the idea. I thought, okay, Watergate, Nixon. What is Nixon's favorite recipe? And I looked it up, I googled it and researched it. It is meatloaf. I like meatloaf, so we make a meatless loaf. And who else likes meatloaf? That's right, the Donald. So President Trump and President Nixon like meatloaf, so they are covered with that recipe. Of course, we make a meatless loaf. And Melania, if you're listening to my cooking show, From Immigrant to Immigrant, my meatloaf is fantastic, but much healthier than the one Donald eats. So make it for him, let him try it, okay? We are doing not the recipe I did for the cupcake meatloaf. I have it on my videos, you can look at that too. That's a perfect recipe too, that's with lentils. Today we make something else. We make a 2-bean meatloaf. So 2 different beans meatloaf. And this is our main course. Then we have President Washington's garlic mashed potatoes in the Instapot. Then we have President Gerald Ford's red cabbage. I'm not opening a can, I make red cabbage, okay, for you. I have a really good recipe. And we have dessert, Ronald Reagan, my favorite president. Dessert, no, I'm not making jelly beans, that's his other favorite candy. We are making honey baked apples as dessert. All right, so let's get started. We are busy. We start with the glaze for the meatloaf. And I have half a cup of ketchup here, organic of course. I have a 1/4 cup water. I have 2 tablespoons mustard, and I have what else? 2 tablespoons mustard, and molasses. Let me get my glasses here that I don't. 2 tablespoons molasses, 1 teaspoon chili powder. I already mentioned the mustard, the 2 tablespoons, and the 1/4 cup water. That's it for the glaze. And we swirl it together. Everything is nicely mixed. And set it aside for later. This is the first step. We set that one aside. We have the oven on 375. We need that for both, for the dessert and the meatloaf, so put it on 375. And now I put you down that you see what I'm doing. All right, I hope you like it on my refrigerator. That's a nice little view. Okay, we have 1 cup of old-fashioned oats in the food processor. And we pulse it, but do not make flour. So we just pulse it that it's a little bit chopped. Yeah, maybe one more time. That should do it. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. And to the 1 cup oatmeal, we put 1 can of pinto beans, rinsed and cleaned, and 1 can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Put that in. Then we have half a green pepper chopped, and a small onion and 2 cloves of garlic. Get all that in. Alright. Then we need, let's pulse that a little bit. Before we get this stuff. Oops. Let me just rinse that. Okay. That's just the thing that holds it down. Okay. Then, should we put everything in there already? I think it pulls it a little bit for longer. Okay. Yeah, it looks good to me. Let's just see, I don't want it stuck. You have to put the spices in. That looks better. You know what? I think I cut my cloves of garlic here. Not cutting, I think I just smashed them. Because I don't want having one person biting on the whole garlic. It's not so good. I mean, we smash them later in the bowl too, but I think it's better, easier if I cut them. Okay, and we want it nice and garlicky. Then we have a can of corn in there. Anyway, I have a 1/4 cup. I used cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can use parsley. With cilantro, it tastes a little bit more southwestern, which I like. So that's my liking. Let me just wash my hands. A bowl. Okay, we need that here. And now we need, make my glasses again. Okay, we have the cup oats, small onion, half a large green pepper, we have the 2 cloves of garlic, half a cup, no, 1 can chickpeas, 1 can pinto, 2 tablespoons chili powder, there we go, 2 tablespoons. Okay, Then we have 2 tablespoons, or was it, hold on. 2 tablespoons chili powder, 2 tablespoons vegan Worcestershire sauce. This one. I get that at Whole Foods, just in case you're wondering. Alright. Then I have just Trader Joe's normal salsa, 2 tablespoons. I don't want to dump it in there. Oops. So just, you know, eyeball it. It's okay. Got that one. We got the chili powder, Worcestershire sauce, and salt and pepper to taste. Well, I would say we start with a 1/4 teaspoon pepper and maybe 1/2 teaspoon salt. Okay. Oh, my hands are so soggy right now. Yeah, go back in my videos if you want to look up the lentil meatloaf. I have that in there too. And I made it portion-wise in little cupcakes. That was a good idea too for if you have a family outing. It's pretty good. Alright. We got everything. Salt and yeah, we got everything in there. Lid on. Oh no! Oopsies! Oopsies! I put in a 1/4 cup. Is that a 1/4? Oh, that's the 1/3. Sorry. Let it pretty big. A 1/4 cup breadcrumbs. If you don't like Italian breadcrumbs, you use saltine crackers and make them crumbly. That works. Or you leave it out. I have that. I have made that recipe without any breadcrumbs because I had a guest who can't eat gluten, so it worked also. But I think it's better with breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs. Okay, we pulse it. Okay, we don't make it completely liquid and consistent, you know. We don't want to have that. Okay, and then we get our bowl. You see how everything's standing here. It's really hard to get everything for a whole meal here, but I think we can pull it off. I have fun doing it. Okay. Put that all away. Get a spoon. I mean, you could ladle it right into the baking form, but I like to mix it a little bit more to make sure with my hands, you know, to make sure it has the right consistency. Looks good. It does look good. And don't throw away the aquafaba, you know, when you open the can of beans. That's good stuff to brown potatoes, or you can even do mousse au chocolat with them. So it's another time I show you what you can do with aquafaba. It's that liquid that's in the can, you know, in the bean can. Don't throw that away. It's very valuable. Okay. Yucky doodle, yucky doodle. Okay. together. That's a good time to also try it, how the taste is, if you need more pepper or salt or chili powder. And you can taste there's nothing raw on it that would I would say a little bit more salsa, not much, just a little, and a little bit more salt. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. You know what I put in? Cayenne pepper, to give it a little heat. I wanted a little the southwestern, so that's to taste. It's up to you. I think it's good in there. Consistency is about right. Not too dry, not too liquid. I like it. It's good now. Okay. What we do now is, let's put that away. We put it in my silicone pan because I don't need to grease that one. Even it out. You could put it in a loaf pan, yes, but I think if you put it in this square pan, it will go nice, and it's not going to be so mushy inside. You know, I like it a nice crust outside and the right consistency, like you like meatloaf, all right? It has a good southwestern touch though. The cayenne pepper, the chili powder, the cilantro. It's really good. Okay. Now we put the glaze on. That already smells good, people. Seriously. Okay. This goes in the oven, 375 for 35 minutes. All right. Starter on. One thing down, people. Okay, President Nixon and President Trump are in the oven. I mean, they're their favorite item. And now we go right to the dessert because we want to get that in the oven too. So this is the next one we make. This dessert. Bring everything over. We need 2 tart apples, and we do not cut the bottom, but we have to put the core out, and also put 1/3 of the apple we should cut here. Peel, I'm sorry, not cut. I said the apples should be tart. Oh God. So don't put the bottom out. If we need the bottom, we just put the thing out here. I don't have that, you know, what they usually use. Oh, I'm making a mess here. That's okay. Look at that, Mom. Thought maybe my melon thing might be good. Oh, that didn't work. Just broke. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, my melon spoon broke. Anyway, I just do it with my copper knife. That's a really nice knife. It is. I want to go down all the way. Don't want to have any kernels in there. I mean, the photo looked better. Oh, they did a really good job in doing that. I'm not. But I think President Reagan would appreciate it. He liked that dish. Okay, this is number 1. Peel here away. Of course, that one needs to go. Okay. All right. Number 2. Put one away. So about 1/3 you peel it. Yeah, I didn't know that this was his favorite dish. I know the jelly beans. You all know he liked jelly beans, but oh, another thing I have to tell you, I did not by purpose take all Republican presidents. It's just, I started with the meatloaf with Nixon because of the Watergate Hotel, you know. And then I thought, well, this is fitting to meatloaf. And then I found red cabbage with Gerald Ford, and garlic mashed potatoes with President Washington. So this is how I got it, you know. I promise I will look, next year President's Day weekend, we will look up Democratic presidents. I know President Clinton liked enchiladas, and that recipe I already have on my videos, enchiladas. And President Obama ate really healthy. He probably has a good salad recipe. I have to look that one up. The others, I don't know. I have to look. Okay. I already did Lincoln. I did Washington once with cake. Okay, let's put the apple peel away. This is away here. We need a little bit of lemon juice just to keep the coloration of the apples. Now the original recipe calls for cranberries. Nobody here likes cranberries except of me. So I put blueberries in. I have blueberries, so I've stuffed the apples with blueberries. I think you could do even jam, you know, if you have a strawberry jam or something that fits to apples. I think that would work too. Alright. If you don't have a silicone pan, you have to grease your pan. So we don't have any stickers here. Okay. And now in a little saucepan, we do the honey. We mix. Show you. Here it is. Get my recipe. Okay, where's my glasses? Yeah. Okay. We mix 2/3 cup water, a 1/4 cup sugar, and a tablespoon honey. Okay, 2/3 cup water. That's easy. We start with the easy one. Two-thirds. Oil. Two. Okay. And what is the next one? Here it is, 2/3 cup water. A 1/4 cup sugar. We take the turbinado sugar, the vegan sugar, of course. You know why? The other sugar has bone char in it. Yeah, I'm not gonna eat bone char. Okay, 1/4 cup. I'm sure you can use syrup too if you don't want sugar. Then we have a tablespoon honey, and then you can have vanilla ice cream on the side, but that's not something we need right now. Okay. Let's get the honey. Let's get the honey. Tablespoon honey, and I have really good honey. I don't know. I eat honey. I'm not against honey. Did I put it out already? Let's see. Where's my honey? Where's my honey? Where's my honey? Where did that go? Put it out already. The molasses. Don't give me bad grades because I'm not organized again. Oh, I have it here. Kitchen is so small, you know. I thought I put it here already, but maybe I didn't. Here it is. Oh my god, if it would be a snake it would have bitten me. Okay, I have the Bay Area Bee Company honey, so local, and I want a tablespoon. Fresh tablespoon. It's empty. Let's heat that up. To heat, put a little bit more honey in. I have a little bit more here. A little short on honey. Okay. That looks better to me. Okay. It's all organic honey, so. Whisk that together in a very untraditional way. Oh God. Okay, I can't get that. Okay, now got it out. I'll just use that tablespoon to whisk it. Alright. Come to a boil. This one is empty. Right, almost there, people, almost there. Put a little bit cinnamon on top of the apples. I like this. This stuff is hot and goes over the apples. Turn it off. And the apples go also 35 minutes in the oven. Same temperature, that's why I wanted to get them in. So the meatloaf will take 21 more minutes, and so we just have to figure out. And you can spoon liquid over it while you make them. Right? So we just have to remember it's 5 and 9, 14 minutes more than the meatloaf. Alright? So we do good. So now we have President Reagan in the oven too. President Reagan's food. And now we are doing Gerald Ford. I show you how to make a really good red cabbage. This goes here. Okay, we need a saucepan. There's 2 cups of broth. I already put them in. 2 cups of broth. And we need half a head is enough. So I used half of that head and shredded it and put it in. All right. That's how you start. Okay. Be careful with adding salt because you already have the salty broth. So I would wait until the end to do that. We put in, let's see, a 1/3 cup of red wine, and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You can do rice vinegar too. Just don't do. Well, you can take any. The apple cider vinegar is the best for that. Then you add 1 chopped apple, or I have that unsweetened applesauce here. I add that. I need to use that. It's almost at the best before date, so I want to use the applesauce. It's unsweetened, but you can also chop an apple and put it in, no problem. That's what I usually do. Then we do a 1/4 teaspoon cloves. We wait with the salt. We wait with the salt. We do a little bit of pepper, not too much. Pinch of pepper maybe. Oh God, my hands are so slippery. Okay. Got that one in. Okay. Turn it on, of course. This should simmer. Separate spoon here. Mix it together a little bit. Let it simmer, okay? Let it come to a boil and then to a simmer for 25 minutes. I cover it, and this is it with Gerald Ford. Now the only thing that's left is our garlic mashed potatoes for President Washington. All right, and you look at here. I quartered potatoes, golden potatoes, and 2 cloves of garlic, big garlic. So big chunks of garlic, okay? Oh no, that's not the garlic. Anyway, in vegetable broth that the potatoes are covered. It depends on how many potatoes you put in. You put it in the Instapot. Put the vent on seal. And press manual for 3 minutes, and then we let the natural release is about 7 minutes. We let that go, and then we will mash our potatoes with soy milk. So this water will go out, but right now this is what we do. And when I have the done, plug it in. Okay. Vent this on seal. Then we go manual. Down to 3 minutes. And then we let it go. So this is mashed potatoes are in the mix. Red cabbage are in the mix. Just always look a little, you know, and I come back to you when everything is ready. All right, see you later. All right, people, we are back. Everything is done, and I show you. This is the red cabbage. If you would have smell-o-vision, it's not of this world. Please do not buy that pickled can of cabbage. It's so easy to make the cabbage. See that? Oh, and it smells so good. So we have that one ready. We have our meatloaf ready. Look how the glaze is caramelized. The meatloaf has a nice consistency. I let it cool a few minutes until I have the mashed potatoes ready. And then we cut it off. So I'm putting the mashed potatoes are done, and I'm pouring out the vegetable broth. Put the potatoes in the colander. Okay. Put it back in the Instapot. The liquid is gone. See here. Then I have 1 cup warm soy milk. Doesn't have to be hot, but lukewarm. I have a quarter teaspoon nutmeg, which we put in, and I start with the quarter teaspoon salt. I need my masher. We had the broth, so be careful with the salt because we already cooked them in broth, so they already have some kind of salty flavor. So be careful with that, with the salt. You can always put in more later. Okay, so we mash it. We add a little bit soy milk, not too much, because we don't want to have it too liquid. The thing is to mash them really well, so that they are all nice. All the nutmeg is mixed in, the salt. Do a little bit more milk. I noticed when I do not leave the vegetable broth in, the mashed potatoes are creamier, they taste creamier if you only mash them with milk. But that's up to you if you want to mash it with vegetable broth. I know people do that. I don't. I just like it the way it is right now. Now I try them. So I think we have enough liquid. I have to add a little bit more salt. That's too much. The quarter teaspoon. Needs a little bit more salt. Nutmeg is enough. Very good. Look at these wonderful mashed potatoes. Nobody will even know that they are vegan, quite frankly. Okay. So now we are plating. You wait for the dessert, but we want to plate this one first. I'll show you. Clean this up here a little. Alright. Meatloaf over. And do not cut in this silicone pan with a knife. You're gonna destroy your pan. Okay, I'm gonna try it with that. First one is always the worst one, but that's okay. Everything is out here. The apples I still have in there, and I leave them in there until, look how nice that goes out. Oh, perfect texture. That's good. That's a good one. See how nice that, I should show you here in the pan. See how nice that texture is. Yeah. So we plate it with mashed potatoes. So this is President Nixon's and President Trump's meatless loaf, with President Washington's garlic mashed potatoes, and President Gerald Ford's red cabbage. And I have to say, my favorite today is the red cabbage. It came out so good. You will never use a can of red cabbage again if you try that one, I swear. Put a little sauce in it for my mashed potatoes, so I can mash it in a little. Absolutely not of this world. Want to see it again? Here's the red cabbage. Not of this world. And now we get the, let me try it first. Who is here? The machinist. Look who is here. The machinist is back. Okay, you wanna try my meatless loaf?
Maybe.
Or you wanna floss?
My legs are getting tired.
Let me try. I'm a big meatloaf fan. That one is really good. I almost like that one better than the lentil meatloaf, but it's up to you. And now we get the apples out.
Paper cupping.
This is dessert by Ronald Reagan. You see, I take it out on a cooking sheet because that thing is flexible and hot. So do not think this is not hot. That tastes good with vanilla ice cream. Just to let you know, this is awesome vanilla ice cream. So if you make that, make sure you have vanilla ice cream with it. Okay. Let's put them.
It looks really good.
Yep. Can you put the meatloaf on the other side? Okay. So this is Ronald Reagan's dessert. Honey baked, old-fashioned honey baked apples. And I put the sauce over it. Ooh, that's not good. I don't know what is good. Put a little bit of sugar on top because we have cinnamon in there. Not too much. Okay. I should cut one open for you. I should cut one open for you. Look at this. Oh, it's really soft. Let's see. Have to try this dessert. Very good. Yeah, I can see that vanilla ice cream should go on top. I have to tell you that. Serve it with vanilla ice cream. Yeah. President Reagan's old-fashioned honey-baked apple. Okay. So we had 5 presidents menu for President's Day. I hope you liked my cooking and you'll watch me again at the next cooking rodeo with the Tater Cowgirls. I'll show you again. Red cabbage a la President Ford's favorite meal. Garlic mashed potatoes, President Washington. Meatless loaf for President Trump and President Nixon. and honey baked, old-fashioned honey baked apples for for President Reagan. See it? Yeah. Okie dokie. Peace out.